Something's happening in Cincinnati, and it's not just the Skyline Chili. It's Trey Hendrickson versus the Bengals. Again. Welcome to Bengals Breakdown. I'm your host, Stone Shields, and today we're talking about a storm that just got even louder. This afternoon, Adam Schefter shared some big news on ESPN. Yes, it's another update about Trey Hendrickson, and this one feels more personal than ever. The star defensive player is upset again, and this time he's speaking out with no filter. He's calling out the Bengals again. Trey says the team hasn't contacted him at all since the draft. No phone call, no message, nothing. And what's worse, he says the offers he got before the draft didn't match what the team had promised him last year. According to Trey, the Bengals told him he was a big part of their future. But now, silence. Here's what Trey told Schefter, and if you're a Bengals fan, this might hurt a little. I've been waiting for a resolution, but it's hard to wait when nobody's even talking. Ouch. We've seen this before. Trey's upset, and the Bengals don't say anything. It's like a broken record. Same problems, no answers. But this time it feels different. It's not just about money or a new deal anymore. It feels like something deeper, like a relationship slowly falling apart behind closed doors. And don't worry, we're keeping an eye on everything right here on Cincinnati Bengals Breakdown. If Trey even sneezes and it sounds like trade, you'll hear it from us first. Let's be honest, this isn't the first time the Bengals have had trouble with something as simple as talking to their players. This kind of poor communication has happened before and players have complained about it. But let's not forget, Trey Hendrickson and his team haven't handled things perfectly either. If we're being real, his plan, it seems to be backfiring. Here's the question. If Trey didn't like the deal, why did he agree to that 1-year extension last year? Why not just finish his original contract and try to earn a bigger deal after showing how good he is again? By signing that extension, he just pushed the problem to the future. And now, that future has arrived. If he never wanted to play under that contract, why sign it in the first place? Yes, the Bengals deserve criticism for not talking to their players. That's not new. Just think about Jesse Bates III. Same problem, same silence, same frustration. It's like the same story playing out again in Cincinnati. Even when Hendrickson went on Pat McAfee's show weeks ago, he already said that communication with the team was terrible. And now, he said it again in his talk with Schefter. It's like he's shouting into a dark room and no one is answering. But to be fair, this mess isn't just one side's fault. The Bengals definitely messed up. Their slow talks and unclear promises helped create this problem. But Hendrickson and his agent also didn't deal with it very well. It feels like both sides are waiting for the other to move first, and no one wants to blink. So here we are, May 12th, and still no update. No new deal, no solution, just drama. And time running out. Training camp is getting closer. When those mandatory team practices start, everyone will be watching. Will Trey show up or stay home? Now it's your turn. Go to the comments and tell me one word that describes how you feel about Trey's latest comments. Are you frustrated, annoyed, or do you just think it's predictable? Let me know. Oh, and while we're talking about NFL insiders, Rapoport was also on the McAfee show today, and what he said might be the most honest and realistic take so far. If the Bengals were going to trade Trey Hendrickson, they would have done it already. And to be honest, that sounds right. Even if things get worse, and they could, Cincinnati won't trade him for nothing. They're not going to send away a Pro Bowl pass rusher for a pick in 2026 that doesn't help them now. If a team had offered them a 2025 first-round pick a few weeks ago, maybe they'd think about it. But now, not likely. Now let's talk about Trey Hendrickson again, and what Rapoport said about the situation. Rapoport thinks that if the Bengals were going to trade Hendrickson, they would have already done it. And honestly, he's probably right. If a team had offered a big trade, like a 2025 first-round pick, Cincinnati might have agreed. But that offer never came. So here we are. Then Rapoport added something important. I understand why he's upset. He deserves more money. Hard to disagree with that. Hendrickson has racked up 17.5 sacks in back-to-back seasons. He's been amazing on the edge, but he's not getting paid like some of the top pass rushers. Other players who do what he does are getting paid more, and that's making him frustrated. Rapoport believes the Bengals will eventually pay him what he deserves. But here's the thing. I'm not so sure. Rapoport definitely has better sources than me. No doubt. But from where I'm standing, this whole situation feels toxic. Really toxic. The Bengals? They don't flinch. Ever. If you think you're going to win a staring contest with this team's front office, good luck. They've been through situations like this before, and they're not afraid to play hardball. Public drama, it doesn't make things move faster in Cincinnati. It just makes things worse. But there's one person who might be able to change all this. That person is Joe Burrow. I have to give credit to Mo Egger, a trusted voice in Cincinnati who recently broke this down really well. He pointed out that the timing of all this is no accident. Why? Because guess who's talking to the media tomorrow at Paycor Stadium? That's right, Joe Burrow. You can bet the first question he gets will be about Trey Hendrickson. Here's what I would ask. You once said T. Higgins is a need. Is Trey Hendrickson a need too? That answer could tell us a lot. When Burrow spoke up for T. Higgins, the team listened. Their whole mindset changed. Higgins went from probably gone to maybe we'll figure this out. Why? Because Joe Burrow made it happen. So now the big question is, will Burrow do the same for Hendrickson? We'll find out soon. And make no mistake, what Burrow says tomorrow could change everything. And before we wrap up, here's one more headline. Bengals fans who hope to see their team play in Madrid, Spain. Bad news. A report from Spanish newspaper Diario AS says the Washington Commanders will face the Miami Dolphins in the first official NFL game in Spain, scheduled for November 16th. That means no trip to Madrid for Joe Burrow and the Bengals, at least not this year. The Washington Commanders, not the Cincinnati Bengals, are the team heading to Madrid this season to play against the Miami Dolphins. This will be the first ever NFL game in Spain. And honestly, it would have been really cool to see Joe Burrow and the Bengals on that stage. But nope, it's not happening. Now, I get it. International games are exciting. They help spread the sport to other countries. But if I'm being honest, I kind of wish the NFL would keep more of these games right here in the US. Yeah, maybe that's a bit of a controversial opinion, but hear me out. When teams give up one of their home games to play overseas, that's one fewer time their fans get to watch them in person. And that matters, especially for a team like the Bengals, where home field energy is such a big deal. Let's take a quick look at the other NFL teams playing internationally this season. Steelers, Browns, Jets, Jaguars, Colts, Chargers, all 6 teams are scheduled to play abroad. The exact matchups? They'll be announced tomorrow. So, yes, there's still a small chance the Bengals could end up playing against Pittsburgh or Cleveland overseas. So keep an eye out, but again, if it doesn't happen, no big deal. Now I want to hear from you in the comments. Would you want to see the Bengals play more international games? Type Y for yes or N for no, especially if you're not a fan of giving up home games for places like London, Germany, or now Spain. Before we wrap up, here's a quick roster update. The Bengals have officially signed Shaquan Loyal, a rookie safety and undrafted free agent. His name showed up a few weeks ago, but the deal was officially made today. To make space, the team is waiving cornerback Micah Abraham, who has been with the Bengals for a couple of years. Now, will Loyal make the 53-man roster? Honestly, it's a long shot. But last year, Muma Juwanma, another undrafted free agent, made it onto the final squad. So anything can happen. Keep an eye on Loyal during camp.